Hello, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from deltacx.com, and sometimes I get a question that goes something like, "Hey Deb, you seem to prefer specialists and specializing more than generalists or generalizing. Is there anything wrong with being a generalist? Do you think it's some sort of terrible, evil thing? Are you anti-generalist?" Well, I would have to say I'm not against any of you. So first of all, whatever you want to do, you know I support you. And if you're doing it and you're good at it and you love it and you're getting hired, where's the problem? However, I would say when people are newer in the UX career, I know that and there are others, though there's endless opinions, who do suggest that you start out with more of a specialization. So rather than trying to say, I'm going to learn UX research and information architecture and content strategy and wireframing and prototyping and in all of interaction design and related principles and testing and visual design and front-end development and a little bit of marketing. And before you do that and try to be the unicorn of all unicorns, why not learn one thing really well? And that way, a job could say, oh, wow, this person can really do that thing. You do run the risk, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to be a generalist, that maybe you're not good enough at any of these things to get that job. Maybe you can get that job. My concern is that some people are overgeneralizing, to use a pun, and they're not making themselves look as attractive to employers as they might, because ultimately, no matter what an employer is doing with anything about anything that I might like or not like, ultimately the employer has mission critical work that they expect you to show up and be able to do well. They don't want someone who just started learning that. They don't want someone who's still figuring it out. They don't want someone who's still guessing about it. And so I do think that in general, it can be great to start out with some more specializations and to learn that one thing. And then over time say, you know what, I'm interested in that other thing too, and get into it and see if you're good at it, if it's working for you, if it's a good direction for you, or maybe you don't like it. So it's really more about the career path. Over time, I've gotten into more things than I used to be in. I still don't see myself as a generalist. I call myself T-shaped. Maybe this is just semantics. Ultimately, I'm not anti-product designer. I'm not anti-generalist. I'm pro-you. But my concern is a lot of these jobs that say product designer and UX UI and UI UX, I think very often are jobs that are poorly designed. And I think very often they set you up to fail. So it's not so much that I want to change you. I want to see changes to what's going on in jobs and employers and workplaces and culture and collaboration and teams and projects and processes. So it's not you. So I know sometimes I sound anti-generalist and anti-product design, but I think that it's important to say that I'm for whatever you're doing well. And if you're faking it and you're saying you can do this and this, but you're really not that good at this, I'm not as happy with that. I'm not going to publicly shame you, but I'm not as happy with that. And I would say use that as a growth opportunity to get better at that other thing. Don't just be complacent and say, look, I can say UX and I can say UI. I'll just go get some jobs and make more money by putting UX on my resume. There are lots of hiring managers who might look at your portfolio and go, that's not UX. So you can call yourself a generalist, a product designer, a unicorn, whatever you want, but it's all in the eye of the beholder. If a hiring manager looks at your work or interviews you and doesn't feel that you really have skill and proficiency in all of the areas where they expect it, doesn't matter what any of us called ourselves. So just go be the best you can be and keep pursuing new things that interest you and that you're good at. And eventually job titles and things like this will redefine themselves and we won't be fighting amongst ourselves about it. So there you go. Hope that helps in some way. And please subscribe to the Delta CX YouTube channel if you enjoy some of these videos. And also please signal the algorithm that you had some fun here today by empathizing with the like button. Thanks and see you in the next video.